What's going on, fellow zombies? Are we emotionally screwed up and sleep deprived? Are we on a reversal on that one? It's 4:39 in the afternoon for Saturday, the 11th of May, 2024. Looks like the second or third Sunday of May becomes Mother's Day, which means tomorrow, May 12th, 2024, will be Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all those who are among the living and among the deceased, and all those who celebrated with their mothers. But I'm addressing this to the ones who are having issues celebrating with it while they passed on. When my mother was alive, God rest her and God bless her soul, she would not let my brother and I forget. I've forgotten today. I knew it was coming up, but I just forgot about the date and the time. I had been so into the depression and grief that even a simple time for celebrating things for the living, it's becoming harder and harder to celebrate it for the dead because they're not here for me to celebrate it with them alive and be grateful for their presence. I know my mother would have a field day on me if she was alive, and she would tell me, "How dare you forget Mother's Day?" My brother and I did that once, almost twice, while Mom was alive. And it was the hardest damn thing for us to live through when she railroaded us the entire year, apparently. Or what seemed to be that time anyway, until the next Mother's Day. You forget Mother's Day is like forgetting Christmas, or for some people, New Year's, or even, God forbid, their birthday. You forget Mother's Day and a birthday, you are doomed. You are doomed for all eternity. You don't exist. No joke. Ma almost came to that point. Dave and I did that sporadic times. Almost forget a birthday, and we damn near got our heads rolled. But we forgot Mother's Day. We never let it. We never. No, 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 no. This was a holiday Ma would ream on us after we forgot. So we had to make sure that we had something for Mother's Day. When Ma passed, we couldn't celebrate it as much. Dave and I tried the first Sunday, at first Mother's Day. It's not one of those kind of holidays that could fall on a weekday. It's usually falling on Sundays. Kind of hard for me to deal with a holiday like that on a Sunday. It is. Especially when you have no transportation and you got places closing down left and right. So I can hardly ever find anything to celebrate Mother's Day with. But I'm going to have to do that tomorrow morning with a DoorDash. That's a special meal of sorts. I don't know what would have been considered a special meal for Ma. She may be going over to big ass restaurants and steak and lobster. I can't fix lobster. Sure as hell I don't have steak or afford it. You have to look at the damn cuts and see whether or not if you can actually do this or not. And you have to plan ahead for Mother's Day if you want to celebrate it. Dave and I tried. We tried to go over to Sizzlers. A long time ago when Sizzlers was actually edible. And we actually had our teeth. Dave would order the steak and lobster. Because Ma likes steak and lobster. I always did like fish, and so did Ma. I never could. It was always the steak and Malibu chicken. I can do a partial Malibu chicken. I can do that much. I can try doing a Sizzler's meal out of it if I could at home. All I need is the all I need is the materials for it. Steak would be nice. No matter what kind of steak, I'll cook the meat anyway. Of course, I can't do lobster because there's no way in hell I'm doing lobster. I don't like fish. And Mom knows it. I could do cheese toast. You get soften enough butter to a point. You mix in cheese with it. I'd throw in a little garlic, a little seasoning powder in it if I had. But then I'd be able to fix it on a skillet, or at least in a flat iron. I could do it that way. I've done it. So I could try doing that. Yeah, I could do that for Mama. She did love the cheese toast a great deal. That I can do. I got a few chicken patties left, still frozen. I still got a few slices of Swiss cheese. No Canadian bacon. I'm sure it's only going to do the damn spam. That sucks. But I can do cheese on it. Come close to it. Steak is a different thing altogether. I don't have that animal. I may have to go online, DoorDash, and see what they got over at Albertsons on that one. What makes it even harder is I don't even have a card to give Ma. Generic just won't work. Sometimes you would have to go through the card and pick it out and feel if it's the right one or not. Nor dial a ride on Sundays anyway, so I'd have to do the DoorDash just for the food part. Even getting a teddy bear over there would be something if there was anything left. Couldn't do flowers unless they're plastic because it just doesn't work that way. But David and I didn't. Well, we tried to get flowers fresh on some occasions when she was still alive. When she got infirmed, bedridden, cards signed. Teddy bear if we could get one. Add to our collection. But it would be hard to celebrate a Mother's Day when she's not here to celebrate it with. Dave tried to get we just only did the meal for Sizzlers, but we couldn't do a card or a teddy bear because she wasn't here to receive it. And after that, it was kind of hard for me and David to celebrate Mother's Day after that. The day would pass. We'd still be that much more depressed about it. One of Ma's favorite meals also, besides going out and getting that kind of stuff, Marie Callender's. But Marie Callender's is no longer in operation. I would have to see what they've got for frozen food. Try to steam it up. That can be done. That can be done. Eggs and bacon I could do. Or at least eggs and sausage. I do that all the time. I have a toaster, but use a flat iron skillet. Toast it up that way. That can be done. I deal with mugware. I don't deal with electronics when it comes down for cookware. Which means no toaster oven for a toaster, no coffee maker for your coffee, and no microwave oven. Everything's on a burner. So I learned to adapt on that. But how do you adapt of giving something of remembrance to someone who's already passed on? The reason why I have the Christmas decorations out all the time, I don't want to put them away. Because it seems like I'm putting away the things that my mother would care about. Of course, she would have been already on my ass after January would be over and February comes in, my would have been on me of getting this stuff put away. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not putting it into a shovel back box at this point. No. I keep it out. I keep out the batteries. I keep out the lights. I keep out the stuffed animals. I keep out the decorations. Because to me, Christmas still means something to me. It still means of Ma. It still means of David. And this is a constant reminder. It's hard enough for me and Dave trying to put the Christmas decorations away when it was the first year of Christmas and Ma had already passed. I hated it. I wanted to keep it out for a little bit longer time, and so did Dave. But we couldn't do it. We just decided no, after about 3 or 4 months out, we'd put it back in. And then take it out on Thanksgiving, which we did. And decorate it, which I did. Christmas trees were my speciality during those days. The larger trees are gone. Gone years ago. Most of our decorations are gone. Very few scraps left that I used and keep up. But they're important to me. But when it comes down for Mother's Day, what mattered most was trying to celebrate the love I had for that lady, for that woman in my life. Sometimes she was a royal pain in the ass, and other times she was my mother. And she could also be a pain in the ass. But I didn't have hatred. I had a hell of a lot of love for that lady. And as for my brother, well, I was the younger kid. I was the baby brother. I was the guy who was protecting his six all the damn time. So celebrating Mother's Day would almost be like celebrating Brother's Day as well. How would I celebrate him? Well, I don't have a Coke. I don't smoke. But I got his ashtray in there, but I'm not using it. I got a bottle of Sprite I've been saving for about a year. I don't know how the hell it's going to taste, but I got it anyway. Maybe I drank Sprite, but I could drink a Coke every once in a great while. I just don't have any. Maybe that's another DoorDash I got to think about. Or better yet, I know once in a great while Ma indulged in pizza. When we could afford it, we went over to Shakey's. The closest thing that would have a Shakey's taste and design would be Domino's. They got chicken that seems to be okay, and I like the chicken very much. Even when she was over at Sizzler, she'd eat the chicken. And I'm thinking about pizza because Dave and I ate pizza when we could afford it. At one time in our life in this Antelope Valley, we went over to the only Shakey's pizzas they've got out in Palmdale. They don't deliver. Mojo potatoes wouldn't be the thing that Ma would love, and not to mention the chicken. They don't have Mojo potatoes out here. I suppose I could try doing Mojo potatoes, but then I don't know how to recipe, so I'd check YouTube on that. I'm worried about my dog, and I'm worried about how she's doing. When I order pizza from Domino's, they don't have the potatoes. They got the other casserole stuff out there. And I try to make this food last maybe 2 or 3 days worth. I do the calculations, and if I can afford it for maybe 2 or 3 days, fine. Pizza will only last about two meals anyway, or three, depending on what size I'm getting. With the large, it's about 2 to 3 meals. And the chicken will last maybe about one meal. But since I've already got regular chicken for my mama, well, close to it anyway, I'm not going to worry about that for the dog. And as for me, I got to be looking at what I'm going to be doing for my own celebration for mama. What kind of food would I dedicate? I mean, I know I could do the cheese toast. I could do a steak if I had to. I haven't cooked a steak in a hell of a long while. I don't even know how to these days. As I said before, forget me and fish. No, we don't do that. So I guess maybe tonight, if I balance the budget on this one, and this is going to be tight because I had to do the balancing in my head on how it's going to be fed. Rent's already done, taxing's already done. Edison's coming up. I'll have to do a flat 50 on this one and pay the extra next month. Cable, I'm not doing the partial on, and sure as hell I ain't doing the partial on the phone. They won't do it. I do a partial, they'll shut my ass down. But at least it's a flat rate. They hadn't changed the damn thing, thank God. Cable right now is flat rate, so I can figure that out. So I can automatically figure what I need for balancing things out. That helps when I keep bringing up notebooks that I can actually use and check things out on. I ripped the other pages out if I had to. So let me see. I know I could do this electronically, but sometimes it helps me doing it artificially. Why not? I have to do this the hard way. It's not going to make sense to people, but for me, it does. Okay, what was it about? 60? No, 50. Make it 55. That's 55. And what was it, 265? No, 247. Make it flat, right? So once I get the flat rate going on this one, well, this isn't. Yeah, I did it wrong. Well, I do things wrong. I do things backwards, and it just doesn't come out as well as it should. So I have to wheel and deal with the numbers on this one. Yeah, that's about right. Then I got to get the balance what I've got currently. And once I get that information, then I start doing the subtractions left and right. When I buy little things left and right on Amazon that I think I need, decreases the budgets at this point over here. And yeah, my mom would do the same damn thing too. She was an accountant controller. She was a bookkeeper, income tax specialist. Numbers were her game. She could figure the shit out in her head when she could. And figure out if we can afford it, we can afford it. If not, then we didn't get it. And I have to do the same thing. I know the thought that counts is one thing, but sometimes actions is what me and David had to do all the time. We just couldn't ignore it. We had to balance things out to make sure that things were going to be affordable one way or another. This was a fact of life for us. This was something that we had to do. And these things, I had to do. Would Ma be proud about me doing this damn stuff? No, probably not. She'd be probably pissy about it. But I'd probably tell her, look, I'm doing the best I can for right now. What you want? I don't know what you would want. But for me, I know the things I want and the things I can't have. But I'm celebrating Mother's Day one way or another. I have to because I miss her, I love her, and I don't want to let her down one way or another. I've been doing that for a long while now. I'd keep up with the Christmas, I'd keep up with the Easter, but when it came down for Mother's Day, when it came down for her birthday, oh God. It's like, how do I celebrate something like that when I can't even celebrate it in life as much? I mean, I should have been doing as much more in life. But these days, I may not be able to afford it. Looking back at the financials at this point, yeah, that's going to be fun. But some things I have to do anyway. Uh, no pizza this month anyway.